So this is us and this is Nebo.
Thanks for joining me as I travel the world, going from fine dining through to street food and local specialties, all in an effort to find the world's best seafood.
On a pretty plain looking street, Asanebo.
So Asanebo actually had a Michelin star for a while, but it's pretty cash, still fairly pricey, and an interesting mix of patrons in the shop.
Okay. Anago, tamago. Scallops are good. Rare and endangered panda.
Taking a look around, it's an interesting mix of traditional and modern. I don't think it's Michelin starred anymore, and it isn't at that level in terms of service. But the main thing we're here for is the food. So we had 3 hungry people, so quite a bit of different options. First up, this is a Maguro the Red Tuna. This, I think, is slightly towards the chutoro, the medium fatty cut. It was really nice. It was not as strong of a flavor. I actually prefer chutoro and Maguro over toro because you get the more of the tuna flavor. Next up, this was a Scallop Sashimi, and it's got kind of a yuzu paste and the black salt on the side and edible flowers. Of course, you've got to have some edible flowers. Here, a mix of different sashimis. You can see the king salmon there just glowing orange, really nice. That looks wild caught. They tend to have a different marble if they've been raised in a farm. Really nice.
No. Michael Bay.
The snapper was grilled slightly, and the salmon was, fantastic. Not fatty, but really good flavour. This is just voiceover for me.
And this was a sea snail that's been carved up and then put back into its own shell and is kind of simmering.
Bubble, bubble, cute. I don't know that it's terribly effective.
It was actually beautifully done. It was all, filleted and the intestines and the organs removed and then put back in with a seafood broth, and that's a ginger stem on the side. And all of the pieces in there were bite-sized and ready to eat, and the soup was just delicious. I drank the whole soup afterwards, just a really nice light broth. Next up, the black cod miso came in 3 individual pieces. So many places now do black cod with miso, and it tends to be extremely expensive. I don't know how expensive a fish must be when the tiny little bites are so expensive already.
Is
this like Korean style? You gotta do it in one bite. So it's got the white miso paste.
Oh, good. 2 days a week, I go with him. It's great. Honestly, that's it. You shouldn't.
Then we had our sushi course. We got the uni, sea urchin, and anago. Now this is the eel that you'll only find at more traditional places. You won't find the more traditional unagi because unagi is actually freshwater and traditional sushi only serves seawater fishes. So this is the seawater eel. When it's done right, that and uni are just 2 of the most outstanding things you can get, but they're quite hard to get. For me, the uni here was locally caught. It was okay, but not near, the top standard in Japan. But the anago was really quite good. Next up, we got this last piece. This is the Hamachi Wing. A lot smaller than I expected. A wing is normally quite huge. This is really a tiny one, and it's only part of the wing. It's not the whole wing of the fish that you would normally get. Going in close, you can see just how juicy this guy was. It was really quite nice. Despite being small, delicately cooked. We also got a soft shell crab roll, nothing special to write home about, and then is it Kubota Pork? Again, I wasn't impressed by this dish. It was quite expensive and the meat wasn't anything terribly special compared to, the really delicate pork that you sometimes get.
So this is king salmon spring roll. It's a fresh spring roll, but they call it a cigar. And this is, what did you say it was again? It's a miso and
Something plum, I heard.
oh, that's the plum salt on top with yuzu and yada yada yada.
Overall, for LA, I think the sashimi and the sushi was really quite good. I can understand why this place is no longer Michelin starred though. The service and everything just isn't at that level. And the dishes were a little bit hit and miss. And I have to say, for the price you're paying, I think there's a lot better options out there. Thanks for joining me. Please do like and subscribe and join me on my future adventures.